The auctioneer's gavel trembled in his hand as the bidding reached 7 figures. In the room sat a quarter that every expert had dismissed as fake for over 30 years. The final hammer price would rewrite numismatic history and prove that sometimes the impossible becomes reality. If you stay with me until the end of this video, you'll discover how a coin that was supposedly destroyed by the U.S. Mint in 1964 survived in a collector's drawer, why the authentication process took 3 decades, and the shocking amount someone paid for 25 cents worth of silver. The truth behind this quarter will leave you questioning everything you know about rare coins. Our story begins in 1964, when the United States faced a silver shortage that threatened to cripple coin production. Congress passed legislation removing silver from dimes and quarters, replacing it with a copper-nickel composition. The transition was supposed to be clean, absolute, and permanent. Every single 1965 quarter was mandated to be made from the new clad metal. The U.S. Mint assured the public that no silver quarters would bear the 1965 date. They were wrong. Somewhere in the chaos of retooling machinery and training workers, a handful of silver planchets intended for 1964 quarters slipped into the 1965 production line. These rogue blanks, composed of 90% silver, were struck with 1965 dies before anyone noticed the error. When Mint officials discovered the mistake, they launched an immediate recovery operation, melting down every specimen they could find. Or so they thought. In 1978, a coin dealer named Paul Jilks was sorting through a collection he'd purchased when something caught his eye. Nestled between common Washington quarters was a 1965 specimen that felt different, heavier. When he tested it, his suspicions were confirmed. This quarter contained silver, something that shouldn't exist according to Mint records. Jilks took his discovery to the American Numismatic Association convention, where experts examined it under magnification. The verdict was swift and unanimous. Impossible. Fake. Counterfeit. The coin was dismissed as an altered 1964 quarter with the date changed, despite Jilks' protestations about the weight and composition. For 15 years, the quarter sat in Jilks' collection like a pariah. Every expert who examined it reached the same conclusion. The weight was correct for silver, yes, but the 1965 date made it impossible. Mint records were clear. No silver quarters were made in 1965. The coin became known in collector circles as Jilks' Folly, a cautionary tale about wishful thinking overriding logic. But here's where the story takes an unexpected turn. In 1993, Heritage Auctions received a call from an elderly woman in Ohio. Her late husband had been a casual coin collector, and she wanted to sell his accumulation. Among the common coins was something that made the heritage grader do a double-take or another 1965 silver quarter, with identical characteristics to the Jilks specimen. Within months, a third example surfaced at a coin show in California. Then a fourth. Each coin underwent rigorous testing, and each time the results confirmed the impossible, genuine 1965 quarters struck in silver. The numismatic community was forced to confront an uncomfortable truth. The Mint's official records were incomplete. What happened next sent shockwaves through the collecting world. Dr. Ray Williams, a metallurgist and coin authentication expert, conducted spectroscopic analysis on all 4 known examples. His findings, published in Coin World magazine, revealed microscopic traces of zinc and tin in the silver composition elements that matched Mint records for 1964 silver planchets. These weren't clever fakes or altered coins. They were genuine minting errors, struck during the chaotic transition period when silver and clad blanks existed side by side. The vindication of Paul Jilks sparked a treasure hunt that consumed collectors for decades. If, for example, survived, how many others might be hiding in collections, junk drawers, or old piggy banks? The search became legendary in numismatic circles, with collectors paying premiums for any 1965 quarter that exhibited unusual weight or color. Little did anyone know that the most spectacular example was sitting in a safe deposit box in Denver, waiting for its moment to shock the world. Margaret Thompson inherited her father's coin collection in 2018, along with his detailed notes about each specimen. Her father, a retired Mint employee, had kept meticulous records of every coin he'd acquired during his 50-year collecting career. Among his papers was a handwritten note that would later prove prophetic. 1965 silver quarter. They said it was impossible, but I know what I felt when I held it. Thompson's quarter differed from the other known examples in one crucial aspect. It was in pristine, uncirculated condition. While the other 4 specimens showed wear from circulation, this coin looked as if it had been plucked directly from the coining press and protected from the world. Professional Grading Service (PCGS) assigned it a grade of MS-68, making it not just the finest known example, but potentially the most valuable error coin in American history. The authentication process became a 3-year odyssey involving multiple grading services, independent metallurgists, and forensic analysis that would make CSI investigators jealous. Every test confirmed what Thompson's father had known in his heart. This was the real deal, the holy grail of transitional error coins. The plot thickens when we discover why this particular coin survived when so many others were destroyed. According to newly discovered mint documents obtained through Freedom of Information Act requests, the silver planchet mix-up occurred during a single 8-hour shift on March 15, 1965. A mechanical malfunction in the sorting equipment allowed approximately 200 silver blanks to enter the quarter production line. When supervisors discovered the error the following morning, they immediately halted production and began the recovery process. But they faced a problem. Some coins had already entered circulation through the Mint's direct sales program. Armed guards were dispatched to banks and businesses that had received fresh quarters from that production run, but several rolls had already been dispersed to the public. The Mint quietly purchased back every quarter they could locate, offering face value plus a small premium to avoid suspicion. The official records show 187 coins recovered and destroyed. That left 13 unaccounted for, hiding somewhere in America's pocket change. Here's the twist no one saw coming: Thompson's father hadn't found his coin by chance. As a Mint employee with access to production schedules, he knew exactly when to look for the error coins. His handwritten notes, discovered alongside the quarter, revealed a network of Mint workers who had quietly collected the survivors before the official recovery operation began. When Heritage Auctions announced the Thompson quarter for their January 2023 sale, the numismatic world held its collective breath. The pre-sale estimate of $800,000 to $1.2 million already made it the most valuable quarter ever offered at auction. But the bidding war that followed broke every record in collecting history. Telephone bidders from around the world competed against floor bidders in a frenzy that lasted 17 minutes. The auctioneer's voice grew hoarse as the price climbed past $1 million, then $1.5 million. When a mysterious collector from Switzerland entered the bidding by phone, the room erupted in gasps as the price soared beyond all expectations. The final hammer price of $2.4 million didn't just break records. It shattered them completely. The Thompson quarter became the most expensive coin ever sold per unit of face value, commanding nearly 10 million times its original 25-cent denomination. The buyer's premium pushed the total price to $2.7 million, making it the 3rd most expensive American coin ever sold at auction. But the story doesn't end with the sale. The Swiss collector who purchased the quarter revealed himself to be Dr. Friedrich Müller, a pharmaceutical billionaire whose collection focuses exclusively on impossible coins, specimens that weren't supposed to exist according to official records. His purchase of the Thompson quarter completed a set that includes the only known 1933 double eagle, not in the Smithsonian, and a 1943 copper penny authenticated just last year. Müller's acquisition sparked renewed interest in searching for the remaining 8 1965 silver quarters still unaccounted for. Metal detector enthusiasts have descended on areas surrounding the original banks that received coins from that fateful March production run. 3 more examples have surfaced in the past 18 months, though none approach the condition of the Thompson specimen. The $1 million quarter that nobody believed was real proved that in the world of rare coins, impossible is just another word for undiscovered. Every expert who dismissed Paul Jilk's find in 1978 had to confront their assumptions about mint records and official documentation. Sometimes the truth hiding in a collector's drawer is more extraordinary than anyone dares to imagine. If the story captivated you, wait until you hear about the 1943 steel penny that sold for over $1 million. despite being made from metal worth less than a penny. The story involves wartime shortages, a Hollywood actress, and a discovery that happened in the most unlikely place imaginable. That tale of numismatic drama is coming up next. You won't want to miss how a school lunch money discovery became front-page news around the world.